It's actually a decent looking little thing.
Oh, nice.
What is up, everybody? It's Brown Guy 420 here. We got ourselves another daily grind episode. This is the wet grind, is what this is. We've got deer just chilling in the fields, doing their thing. They're all over, hanging out. Hey, little guy. How you doing? But this is our version of an organic flood and drain, guys. Right now we're in the process of flooding. So nature turned on her water and we're flooding. If you look over here, we got water running all over the place. So nature's flood and drain. Water's coming down off our hill like crazy. And if you look on the ground right now, it's moving. Moving with water. So down the side of the greenhouse, even everything is just ridiculous. So we've been trenching. We've been getting the water start flooding out. And just doing what we can to get all this water to just get off the property, to get off of this area. So the fields where we did all of our excavation and draining is actually looking really good. It's draining great. See how nice and dry they are, or not dry, but not a lot of standing water. Once you get past that third greenhouse, it gets a little bit, because that's where we had the excavators at. Then we have our nice clover patch pile. Then you get down to the other ones, and we're gonna have the excavation crew guys come back and re-level that field, because it just doesn't look, oh, there we are. It just doesn't look like they're too level, does it? They're big ponds. So we're gonna have them add a little bit of dirt in the back so it flows down towards the ditch. But you know what? 3 out of 5 ain't too bad. Of everything that's not puddling up. So things may look a little bad, but they're actually doing really well. There's a lot of water. It's raining pretty good right now. I mean, pretty dang good. It's been raining non-stop for a day straight. Pretty much over. I mean, you can hear it. But the plants are looking good. The plants are doing fine. So can't complain. The floors are wet. We've had to lift our logs up with some 2x4s up off the ground. We use just a layer of wood to keep all the rest of the wood off of the ground. But we are having, this is our nature's flood and drain. I just showed you the drain. Now here's the flood again. So, I mean, it's pretty wet in here. But the plants are looking pretty decent right now. We're just now starting to get into taking care of these plants, so you might see some yellowing and stuff going on. A couple yellow leaves, here's one. But we're gonna be cleaning all that up. That's just plant maintenance. But for the most part, these plants they're doing just fine. They're fine. They're perky. They're good. And I'm not worried about their health at all. But we gotta get this ground to quit soaking up. So what we've been doing today, like I said, is digging trenches. Right now we're gonna start on this side and this side of the greenhouse to get it all to flow back towards our pads down on the other side, so we don't have all this standing water. But this is just kind of part of the whole thing of keeping our plants alive until we get down there on the field, you know. And I was laughing because I said, you know, that I thought it was funny that we did all these other places and farms, and now we're sitting here in the mud building solo. It just shows that, like I told my guys, that if we can do this, we can do anything, you know? If we can survive in the rain and the flooding and all this other adverse weathers that we're gonna be seeing for this season, we're gonna be pretty set. We're gonna be pretty good. So things are going, things are burning. Like I said, growing fire with fire, guys. So it may not look like fire, but we got fire in there right now. So there we are. There's our wood. Here's our plants. They look pretty good. We're gonna be throwing a couple thousand waters in here, so these girls get plenty of light that they need. So everything will be really lit up here in the next day or two. But everything's looking pretty good. So let's go check out the indoor stuff, the stuff that's not flooded. But like I said, there's our flood coming down. And there's our drain. Nature's flood and drain system. Okay guys, so here's all of our non-flood and drain plants. These are just regular soil grown. I'm just joking. But here's inside of our garage. This is all of our little seedlings. Everything's looking pretty good. These girls are getting pretty tall. Everything's looking nice. If you've noticed here, we went through and topped all of them. Went and gave them all a nice little haircut. This is a really old school style hood that we're using. And one thing I am noticing is that, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks like it's got some hot spots on it, because I'm seeing like randomly faded leaves, and it's all just right here, right underneath this light. So we're gonna replace this hood. These big XXL style hoods disperse your light a lot better, and you don't got any of that going on over here. So that's definitely one of the things that we're gonna have to swap out, is those old school hoods didn't have a lot of thought into them when they used to make those things. So other than that, our clones are looking pretty good. Everything down here is looking pretty good. We did have an issue with this top cloner. If you notice, there's a couple of them that got toasted, and then there's a bunch that are okay. That's not from a bad cloner, cloning type of thing. Sorry about the colors. What that is we noticed that, I don't know if this thing was off a little bit or whatever, but I think it leaked out and there was no water in here, and we had a bunch dry out. So we're going to go through on these clones, and we're going to go cut those back off the bushes. This is why we haven't trashed any of the bushes that we took these clones off of, just in case something like this happens, which things happen. We want to make sure that we still have the bush, just in case whatever died right there ends up being like a really great pheno. So that's why we don't kill the bushes until we have roots on the clones. That's the exact reason. So dusted a couple by the just by some sort of leaking issue. I don't know what happened, but it's all fixed now. All the water's spraying pretty good now, so we don't got to worry about it. That's one of the downfalls to the whole hydro thing, is that they do leak at times, and you really got to keep your eyes on it. I left for the weekend to the Emerald Cup, and when I came back, they were kind of doing that thing. So luckily, most of them bounced back. So there's everything without the Method 7 view, and here's everything with the view, with the Method 7 lens. So seedlings are doing great. All our HSO genetics, as always, look wonderful. So we will be doing some pheno hunting of these girls and guys that are in here. Not singling anybody out. But there we go, guys. Everything looks good, healthy, ready to rock and roll. What's up, guys? Here I am in the office. I was going to do a dark plasma update, but I'm all thrown off. Apparently we threw in the flower, and it's late at night and the lights are already off. So we'll catch you on tomorrow's episode with the dark plasmas. They're doing good. They're in like day I think like day 2 or 3 of flowers, so nothing spectacular. So sorry for the gap in videos, not having them at the beginning of the week, but that Emerald Cup just kind of cooked me. I didn't work a booth, I didn't walk around, I didn't do anything except for sit around and shake hands and meet fans, you know, and I wouldn't have wanted to do anything other than just meet the fans, you know. I could have walked around and had fun there, did dabs, did bong loads, did whatever. But I wasn't there to party. I was there to do brown guys fan appreciation. You know, I want to go out there and shake hands to everybody who watches my show. You know, to me that just was more important than to go around and have fun. You know, but doing that was a lot of fun. I had a blast. Everybody that I met were such great, sincere people. They were giving me weed. They were passing me joints and all that good stuff. Turbulence. They were just hooking it up. I believe they're called MD Farms also, is their farm name. But HSO hooked it up again with, they keep giving me all these collectible hat pins. And I've got all 3 different kinds so far, so I'm really happy with that. As you guys know, I'm pretty much an HSO nerd, so I love getting all their memorabilia. They hooked it up with a sweatshirt. You guys will see me wearing their sweatshirt. You know, still puffing on the Twisted Bee here. I'm loving like my joints with that. And I know a lot of you guys were asking. I've got 2 different hats here. First one is the Humboldt Seed Organization hat. It's clean. It's got their tree on the back. That's just a sweet hat. But the one at the Emerald Cup, we got this one that says compost on it, which is just sweet. I got a lot of comments on it on Instagram and the last video. This one's actually put out by a company called Biologic Systems. I believe they're Live Biologic on Instagram. But that's the that's the hat that they're putting out, which is just awesome. You know, like instead of straight out of Compton, it's straight out of compost. So I really liked it. I had to get one. My girl from Toki Farms hooked it up with this. We were out watching BioVortex do his talks and all the other Living Soil guys that were at the event. So good things, good fun times. I had an amazing time at the event. So next year, the Emerald Cup, Solo Farms will have a booth down there. So you guys can count on it. We're gonna make sure that we have a booth. We're up there. We'll have our flower out there. Arcana. We will be bringing you a nice little jar of smoke. I do believe you're the guy I talked to about swapping some nugs, but my apologies. You know, I ended up giving some buds to a guy named Rams Bladesman. Let's see if I can get that to... There you go. And a bunch of people that came up, but this is the guy that got the last of my herb. Look at this pen that he made for me. It is simply amazing. I don't know if we can get this to focus right. Let me see if I hit my focus button here. There we go. Alright, so he made me this amazing pen, handmade. All that's inlaid, that's 24 karat gold in the middle there. Gold at the tip, gold at that tip. This pen unscrews and you got a beautiful pen. And then it screws on the back so you don't lose this really nice cap. And there we go, guys. I mean, inlays in it. I mean, it's an amazing pen. He says they typically retail at about 150 bucks. And I almost couldn't take this. This was just too much. This was too much. But he insisted on it. He said he made it for me. He appreciates what I do for the community and what I'm out there spreading the knowledge of. And so I took it because it gave me an idea. So I have been feverishly going over contracts and going over them and going over them and going over them. And we're going to talk about contracts, but when I got this pen, it's so special to me that somebody would go out of their way to spend so much time to craft something like this. It's just blowing my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and name the pen Excalibur. And it's going to be because this pen has a lot of power. To me, it symbolizes all of you guys. Not just Rams Bladesman, but all of you guys. It's going to be, I call it the fan pen, you know, because a fan made it. And this is what I'm going to sign my contract with that binds me into these investors. Amazing investors. You know, that's about all I can say about it. I'm not at liberty to tell you who they are or, you know, what they do or whatever. But amazing people. You can take my word for it. They're just downright amazing people. And when it comes to me signing this, everybody was able to relate with me. I get emails of people watching the show from, you know, from Breaking the Bond, from Bottled Nutrients, all the way till today's episode and till tomorrow and all that. And they say that they feel me, they can relate. They've been through the same thing. They've been drugged to the mud too. And I have a lot of people that, you know, like our attitude on the farm of just get up, dust yourself off, and keep going, you know. And to be given a pen, something so special like this, it's only right that I use a fan's pen to sign my contracts, you know. Because if it wasn't for you guys, there wouldn't be much of Solo Farms already, you know. All of you fans have really supported us. You guys have really, really given us some amazing, great comments, great, just great everything. You guys have really embraced us so much that, like I said, this is the people's pen. This is going to be the Excalibur, you know, the sword that could go through the stone or whatever. You know, it means a lot. You know, to me it means a lot. When I do anything important, it's going to be this. And I feel that this is going to be the good luck that makes sure that it binds everything just right, the way it's supposed to be. And, you know, the way you guys want to see us rise, this pen's going to help us do it. This is going to be the one that takes us everyday average people that have been working 40 hour a week jobs, living paycheck to paycheck, this is what changes it all. This is what signs my contract to the possibilities of all our hard work actually making us a little bit something to where I can think about retiring or sending my kids to college or doing things like that. So thank you, Rams Bladesman, and thank you to everybody, because that's what this is going to stand for. It's going to stand for the farm, for you guys, for everything, for all the support from all of you guys. To me, that's it. That's the luck. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be signing contracts. So thank you guys as always. I couldn't say, any more than what I do, but thank you. So, like I said, I've been feverishly going over contracts. I've had a lot of people ask about contracts. I can't really go too in depth about contracts. There's just a lot to them, and there's a lot of information that I'm not at liberty to share. It's private information, it's all that stuff. But I will tell you that this, see how thick this is? That's a real contract. What I got served with at the other place was a contract. And it wasn't the best of contracts. I mean, it pretty much in a nutshell, this one was pretty much saying that I got paid a certain amount a year. I didn't have any kind of holdings, equities within the company. It could be talked about after a year, but it really in paper said that there was none, which was agreed upon at the first place. So that's like changing what you want to say. It said if I was terminated, there was 6 years of no employment within the industry. If I was caught doing it, they can sue me for $10 million. What's up with that? You can't work in the industry for 6 years or 7,500 miles away. And if I did, then I could be sued up to $10 million. It said here that if I signed that, I would have given up all rights to my company, Solo Farms, to Brown Guy 420, to Southern Oregon Living Organics, anything involving my name, my YouTube, my Instagram, my social media accounts, anything like that, I would not own. Any shirts, memorabilia, coffee mugs, grinders that Father Mike is doing, I would not own. It would belong to them. It said that if I read the entirety of the employment agreement and taken independent advice upon it, the agreement contains the entire agreement of the parties. No other agreement, statement, or promise made on or before the effective date of this agreement will be binding on the parties. Well, if I agreed upon it and taken independent advice on it, that would have been cool, but because I went to go get independent advice on it because it sounded funky, I got the axe. So, I don't know, guys. Contracts should be done by lawyers, When it comes down to a good contract, it's protecting its investment, but it's not putting a binding contract upon me specifically is what, a good contract is going to do. No compete orders. It's fair enough. Fair enough. I could see that. 6 years, that's a little bit ludicrous. The way we've set it up is that I'm not to be doing anything with other vendors, other things like that, starting a company on my own or whatever, but Southern Oregon Living Organics is my company, so why would I go anywhere else? It's stating there that I have my units in the, my specific units, which are, you can call them your shares or whatever. it says that if any of us were to be, let go, that is a majority vote. So, brown guy can't make all the decisions and just whip a whip and everybody just, bows down and like does what I say. My farm's based on majority vote, and so is the partners, the investors. It's all majority vote. I'll never tell you or anyone in my farm that my way is the only way, and that's just the way it is. I believe in more heads is more heads. That's like a think tank. So I may say, I think we should do it like this, but then my boy TA is like, well, I don't know about that. And then my boy D is like, well, I think we should be like this. And then Golden Hill Grower says, well, I don't know. I tried that, and this seemed to be the only outcome. And we sit there, and it may sound like we're arguing at first, but it's like a big debate. And then we sit there, and we just talk and talk and talk and talk, and we go over all the scenarios while one guy's sitting on Google, and the other one's looking at YouTube. We're finding out all the aspects. And then within 20, 30 minutes, we're all on the same page. And we're like, okay, it's like a football team. We just break, and we go and take care of what we need to take care of. And that's pretty much how the Solo Farms is going to be set up. It's going to have its partners and shareholders, but no one will be able to come in and change the way we do it. So it's all no-till, always will be no-till. It's a sustainable growing, sustainable farm. No one's going to be allowed to come in here and say, hey, look, it's general hydroponics or nothing. That's just the way it is. It's not going to end up like that. We have made sure that the sustainable way of growing is the way we're going to go. Now, these partners are excellent people, and they understand what the no-till organics is about. They see what the need for it is there for producing good, clean medicine. They see what I'm trying to do, and everyone's behind us with it. So a good contract's only going to make you feel more secure within that. Don't be an idiot. Don't just sign something because something is cool. Don't just sign a contract because you want to be a commercial weed grower. It's not worth it if you're going to be a slave to that company, and then all of a sudden they can turn it around on you. My new investors here are very, very God-fearing people. They're not out here to hurt me. They're not out here to hurt my crew, and that's why things have gone so far with these guys. We've been here longer than the other farm. We may not have all the plants and the greatness that we had over there, because we're forming things legitly here. We're building this farm from a blank piece of land. When I showed up on the other farm, there was already greenhouses. So we're a little bit behind in that aspect of developing the property. But you guys have seen us out there in the mud all last week and everything, and the week before, and the week before, and the week before. But we're working hard towards our goals, and we're gonna get there. We have our monies coming in for our greenhouses, so we're going to finish paying off those. Me and the guys are sitting here kicking around the ideas on how we're going to, make it easy for these guys to be able to cement down some posts. So we might make some generic looking hoop houses to help, dry out some dirt down there on the fields, because it is raining like no other the last day or two. And I mean, as you saw in the video, we're flooding and draining. No clickbait, because I was showing you, we're flooding and we're trying to drain it. So it's nature's organic hydroponics is what I'm calling it. But we're doing our best, guys. We're doing our best. But I just wanted to say that on a contract, don't jump into them too quickly. Make sure you go home. Make sure that you read through these things. If you don't, what I did is I read through this, and I sat on Google and I Googled any word that I don't know what it meant, because there's a lot of words in a contract that's derived from a lawyer that common guy over here isn't going to really understand. But those big words can be Googled, and the Google will tell you the layman term for what that word means. You know, something for us to understand. So don't jump into something. Always take it home. Always sit there and read over it. If they want it signed by tomorrow, well, you know what? If you can't read it by tomorrow, make them wait. Because if you're worth it, they'll wait to make sure that you feel comfortable. You know, they'll rewrite the contract a little bit to make it sound better so that you're comfortable. An investment, you know. I'm investing me and my people, and my guys, my people, my side of the thing, and they're investing their monies into what we're trying to do. It's an investment for all of us, because this is something where we're a bunch of hardworking farmers, and we got people who want to do investing and want to make some money doing this, and you know that's why they're investors. They're looking to make the money. Now, for them to have the faith within us, they're investing in us. You know, that's the money. For us, it's the idea of, wow, we can really take what everybody's been loving and actually take this mainstream and give everybody that good quality medical marijuana to the whole market in Oregon, and maybe further than that if laws go the right ways, interstate transfers, all that good stuff. But for us, we're investing into them, because with something like this in a contract, you're investing into them, their word, what they want to see with things made, money made, investments made, all that stuff. But we're both investing in on one another. There's a lot of guys that have taught me that they've got investors, and what do you do? What do you do? How do you get investors? It starts with a business plan, guys. That's what me and my compliance lady Cheryl started. We got a business plan together, and then from there, everyone talks. Everybody starts to, do what they got to do. And nothing happens overnight. We'll just put that out there. Nothing happens overnight. We've been doing this for a couple of months now, and we're just now drafting up the contracts and getting ready to sign. So, in the next episode or two, you guys are going to see me sign these contracts, and I'm going to sign them with this pen. So, but to end the talk about contracts is just be smart about it. Just read over it and over it and over it. If you don't have the quiet time to sit down, then go somewhere. Go to a library, sit down with a computer, and research everything that they say on it. Just make sure you're protected. You don't have to, but it would be nice to know that what you're getting into. This isn't a car where it has a lot of fine print and stuff like that in there, and you're like, yeah, whatever. I might get dinged with some stupid interest thing or something like that. But you don't want to get dinged with something like a different contract that says they're going to own all your social media accounts, that they're gonna take everything that you've ever did, all your intellectual property, and they're going to own it and everything like that. That's a no-go, guys. Don't sign something like this, or sign something and just don't care. And then later on, they're like, well, you're in violation of Section 1, Article A. You did this and that, and so we're going to let you go. And now you're not allowed to work for 6 years. 7,500 miles, that's pretty far. And if you do, we are going to sue you for $10 million. That's not the kind of contract you're looking for, guys. So look at what you're trying to sign. Something like this is big. So read. Go get a lawyer if you have to. If you don't have the money for it, then you know what? Just do whatever you got to do to just get that consultation. Bring it to him and see what they can do. Maybe get some buddies together and just get it done, though, because you need to make sure that you're protecting yourself. Just don't sign things just right away. But I am about to sign this contract because I have spent the last couple of days just going through it and through it and through it. Thus why there was no videos for the last 2 days. So there's my rant. So alright guys, I think that's about it. I think I've ranted long enough. Tomorrow we'll try to get some dark plasma shots, show you guys what's up with that. We can walk through the gardens a little bit more. I'll show you the other greenhouse, what's going on with that. But I think that's pretty good, guys. Pretty soon I'll be signing the contracts, so that's a big moment. That's a big moment. These guys have been so cool to us and so understanding and so amazing that I feel completely safe and completely satisfied with signing this contract. So it's gonna happen in the next day or so. So be looking out for that video, because to me it's monumental. That we've gone through the mud over and over again. And we're still dusting the dirt off of us, you know, from all the crud that's happened in the last year. But you know what? What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, guys. You know, if we don't stand for something, we fall for everything. You know, and that was it. We stood for something, and you know, we made sure that everybody knew that we were standing up for something. That's why we couldn't stay at the last farm, and because of what we stand for, is why we're here. This is why we're on Solo Farms, guys. This is why we're here. So always stand up for what you know is right. Don't just succumb to someone who wants to make you succumb to what they want, you know. This is your life, you know. Do what you want and what you feel is right within your life. Make your dreams happen. Go make your dreams happen. You know, no one's gonna make them happen for you. So get out there, shake those hands, talk to those people, do your hustle, and get what you want. Get your dream, you know? Go get a piece of heaven for you. You know, that's what we're doing over here at Solo. We feel like we won. We're at the infancy of this company, but we feel like we won. We found somebody who is caring enough to allow us to develop our dreams, because they can see our dreams and they want to be a part of them. So, with that being said, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, this is Brown Guy 420, and I'm out of here. Peace!